that's a lot of work.
All right, so yeah, let's try some Larceny.
Let's try some Larceny.
So we did. Let me look up. I probably should have had this up already. The tasting notes and where's it from and all that stuff.
Not a power play want to mess with. 2 power play goals Tuesday in the loss.
So pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot off the nose this one.
Yeah, it's like it smells like alcohol.
Yeah, it smells like alcohol. It's not like.
So they get a lot of like.
It smells like a sweet alcohol.
It smells some fruitiness.
A little bit, huh?
But not like. It's very soft. It's not. It's not really there. Yeah, let's just go into trying it. There's not really much to smell there.
That has.
It has some baking spice for sure.
For sure.
It's definitely. I want to say cinnamon. Yeah, that's cinnamon. And it also says nutmeg. I can kind of taste that. There's definitely some sweetness. It's pretty. It's light. It's very light.
For sure.
But it's.
There's definitely a bit of a bite on the finish, though.
Right. It's not overkill.
Yeah.
It definitely. You get some of the oak. It's pretty young. I want to say. It's only aged. They don't actually mention an age.
Yeah, there's no age declaration, but I mean it's.
It is owned, by the way, by Heaven Hill.
Is it too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because it's made by Old Fitzgerald.
Okay.
So it's owned by Heaven Hill, but this is one where they do their own thing in their own. This is like. I mean, you can definitely taste some similarities. I can definitely tell they gotta use the same wheat or a similar wheat because it's not too different. The sweetness isn't too different. It's the bite that comes from the fact that it's still got corn. It's still probably pretty. It doesn't have an age statement, but it tastes like it's still relatively young. It has a little bit of that heat to it that would probably come out in the aged stuff. Shit. Oh well, anyway. Sorry, we have the Pens game on in the background, so Pens just got scored on.
We are professionals over here, and we only film the highest quality videos.
Oh, of course.
Where we also watch sports while we do this.
I mean, I do that anyway. But the finish, I mean. So, it's. I was thinking that I kind of tasted this, and it says it. I want to see. Tell me if you get any maple on the finish.
Like, mentioning it a little bit, but it's still, like, not a ton.
I know, because it says that they taste a lot of it, and it's pretty faint.
This one doesn't...
Now, keep in mind, this is the neck pour. So this is without being exposed to much oxygen. It mellows out a bit as you drink it. It's somehow even more mild later. That is something to keep in mind, that if you take a while to finish this bottle, it will mellow out even a little bit more.
This is a very, very
and it loses some of that bite.
It's a very, very, very mildly flavored bourbon. Like, I don't get a ton of anything.
Right. It's a nice one where if you don't want to be like overstimulated by a bunch of different flavors or something super complex, if you want that little bit of sweetness but a little bit of bite because it's still majority corn and it still has some. I don't know if they have any rye, actually. I think it's barley, which is where some of that...
Yeah, I can...
The malt is where some of that interesting little... it's what I've noticed that the malted stuff I've tried is a bit more of a uniform, mellow flavor.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of that. It's not significant, but it's enough that it's fair. I mean... It's definitely. I mean, it's solid. It's good for the price.
It's good, but it's a very unoffensive bourbon. But I don't like most bourbons I can at least give you the main tastings and kind of get.
It's one where if you want something that you could just drink without thinking about, without having to without getting a dominant flavor, or if you just want a bourbon with a little bit of the sweetness from wheat. That's where I think this niche falls in, and I personally like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not as sweet as a lot of the other wheated offerings I've had, and I don't know, because I love the sweetness of a wheat offering, and I think that, this being a wheated bourbon, I don't get as much.
I would call it the introduction to wheated stuff.
That's fair.
It's a more muted wheated bourbon.
That's fair.
Where people who aren't sure if they like it, this is what you try to get a little bit into it.
I got you.
And if you like that little bit of sweetness compared to what you normally drink, then that's when you move on to your Maker's Mark, to your Rebel Yell 100 Proof, to your Rebel Yell 10 Year, your Weller.
Rebel Yell 100 Proof.
It's not, I mean, we were able to drink it straight from the bottle. It wasn't, you gotta admit, it was solid. It did what it was supposed to do for the price.
I'll be real with you. I think after that day, I don't think I'll be purchasing a bottle of that stuff. However,
that's fair, but that's the way we drink it.
You're right. I might have done that to myself.
Yes. But honestly, like, it's one of those ones where it doesn't stand out to you, and that's part of the appeal of it.
Yeah.
Is that it's nothing crazy. You want a bourbon, it's a bourbon.
Yeah.
And you want a little bit of sweetness, it has a little bit of sweetness. It sort of gives you an idea. It's not really anything too crazy. And that's why I like it. It's one that it's super easy drinking. You don't think about it. You just pour a glass, you have it, and it's done. You can drink it neat. You can put it in a drink. It's muted enough that it probably works in pretty much anything.
And it's also cheap enough that if you mix it in a drink, you're not going to feel bad about it. You're not
right. And it's also cheap enough that, like, if you want to drink it straight and you enjoy it, that's cheap for a bourbon that you're happy drinking straight. I'm happy drinking this one straight. I don't drink it in a Glencairn because it doesn't give me anything.
Yeah.
I poured it in a rocks glass because the smell doesn't change it too much to me.
Yeah.
But that's part of the appeal, I think. No, it's solid. It's one that I'll always have on my shelf just because it's the nice in-between for me. God damn it. Alright, put Smith back in. God, now I sound like a Steelers fan.
Oh my God.
One incomplete pass, put in Duck.
We should have never gotten rid of Murray. Fuck.
Why'd we get rid of Fleury?
I want Johan Hedberg back. Anyways, that was an old Penguins joke.
Anyway, let's leave it at that. No, it's solid and like it's one where there's nothing there to complain about.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that if you find something to complain about, your only complaint is that there isn't something to complain about. It's just there. It's there, you accept it, you drink it, it's good, and it does exactly what you want it to do, and it doesn't. It's pleasant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.